And we're off to the races. Our competition today is not about how fast our vehicles can travel, but about how far they can travel. Let me introduce our two competitors. First, we have the red car. The red car is a BPA-free roadster. Second, we have the Z car. The Z car is a wind-up flywheel car. As this is a distance competition, each car will race by itself, and we will then determine which car goes the furthest. Before the competition, let me introduce myself and my research project. My name is Jacob Tenney, and I am the Director of Financial Planning at the University of Charleston. I am passionate about helping individuals and families reach financial and life goals. My research revolves around improving the way I teach financial literacy. Over the past several years, I have collected data from first-year students using questions from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's Youth Financial Capability Survey and the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority's National Financial Capability Study. It appears that many students do not feel they are smart spenders on a regular basis. The goal or research question of this research project is to identify ways to help students be more motivated to learn and apply financial literacy knowledge and skills to improve their financial situations. As I introduced at the beginning, we're going to have a distance competition. The goal of this competition is to introduce the flywheel effect. I will then share some stories to emphasize the critical nature of helping students learn and apply basic financial literacy skills. I will conclude by emphasizing how the flywheel effect might be used to help in the learning process. And now back to our competition. And here we go. First, the red car will start. Not bad, however, it didn't even make it to the first marker. Granted, the second and third markers are a long way out. Now it's the Z car's turn. Wow, look at it go, and go, and go. It has passed the first line, the second line, and the third line. This is incredible. The Z car is the obvious winner of the Grand Toy Car Distance-a-thon. Why did the Z car do so well? Well, let's take a closer look at the Z car. It is this yellow wheel in the middle of the car that is making the difference. The yellow wheel is a flywheel. Some of you may know what a flywheel is, but when I started this research project, I did not know what it was, and I had to do a little more research. According to carthrottle.com, a flywheel is a piece resembling a large, heavy disc that sits between the crankshaft and the clutch system. The flywheel has a vital role to play in any engine's power delivery. The physics behind a flywheel mean that it needs a large amount of torque or force to get it rotating, but in turn it also needs a large torque or force to slow it down, meaning that it conserves angular momentum very effectively. This makes a flywheel a simple energy storage device. So, I must put some energy into getting the Z car going and to get the flywheel turning. But once I do, the flywheel maintains the movement long after the red car has given up and propels the Z car much further. Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great, uses the idea of the flywheel concept to explain how continuing to push forward and being persistent builds up momentum that can carry you forward and keep the momentum going. Now, let me pivot to a couple of different stories, and then I will share how they are related to the flywheel in the Z car. About a decade ago, I was working as a branch manager at a community credit union. A woman came in asking that a few of the overdraft fees that she had been charged to be refunded. As was my custom, I looked at the history in her checking account and was astonished to see that she was paying more than $8,000 per year in overdraft fees. That was over 25% of her income. It made me sick to see this. While it was helping the short-term bottom line of the credit union, it was not helping this individual reach her financial or life goals. I ultimately agreed to refund a small number of her overdraft fees if she agreed to meet with me on a regular basis to create and maintain a spending plan. Some may call it a budget. I call it a spending plan. I also refer to spending plans as flywheels. Over the course of the next few months, this individual went from an average of $8,000 in overdraft fees per year to $800. That's still a lot of overdraft fees, but it is only a tenth of what she had been paying. This individual, in essence, received a $7,200 per year raise. That is the effect of a flywheel. In another more recent experience, I worked with an individual who had 7 or 8 credit cards with thousands of dollars of debt. This individual was only making the minimum monthly payments and was experiencing 2 problems. First, it was going to take years to pay off these high-interest credit cards, and second, this individual was struggling to pay other living expenses due to the excessive number of credit card payments that had to be made. I challenged this individual to have a credit card cutting party with me, and then to meet with me regularly to create and maintain a spending plan. This individual was able to significantly reduce credit card debt, creating a flywheel effect, thus freeing up money for other important financial and life goals. Both of these stories demonstrate the flywheel effect. Some effort had to be made up front to set up the spending plan, track expenses, learn to control spending, stop using most of the credit cards, and find ways to make extra payments. However, the long-term benefit is huge and will keep going and going and going and going, just like the flywheel helps the Z-car to go and go and go. Over the long term, these individuals have more money, less stress, and the ability to reach future financial goals more easily and efficiently. In addition, these individuals will be better prepared to handle future curveballs that life may throw at them. If the flywheel is going, this suggests that credit cards are paid off, an emergency fund is built, a spending plan is in place, helping to avoid overdraft fees, and progress is being made on increasing investments. All of this means that if something crazy happens, such as losing a job or a major medical event, the flywheel can help propel you through the rough patch. Now, how can a flywheel effect be used to improve financial literacy education? I built this track that I bring into the classroom. Notice that some of the curveballs that life may throw at us are on the track. And yet, the flywheel car is able to make its way over each of the difficulties. My hope is that watching the effectiveness of the flywheel car will help students connect to and remember the value of financial literacy activities. Creating and maintaining a spending plan acts as a flywheel. Building and maintaining an emergency fund acts as a flywheel. Becoming a convenience credit card user by paying off credit cards in full every month acts as a flywheel. Learning about compound interest and investing money every month, even a small amount at first, acts as a flywheel. I would like to use what I've learned about flywheels and help motivate students to make smart financial decisions. Each time they're tempted to do something that might damage their financial future, I want them to remember the flywheel. My hope is that more students will be motivated to improve their financial situation and to make plans and goals for reaching future financial and life goals. Thank you. I would love any comments or feedback you would be willing to share. Thanks for watching.